Hello, I'm Mrs. Lara, and in this video I will be going over week 1 of the math section for the phase 3 take-home packet. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and walk through what each day is going to look like. Alright, so for each day, students will be completing a fluency practice. So for day 1, they're going to complete the fluency practice set A, and this is focused on addition. So students are to turn to page 1 in the fluency section. This is towards the end of the math section in the booklet. They are to finish as many problems as they can in 3 minutes. And then they're going to log how many problems they were able to complete. So today I finished blank problems. And then they're also going to check their work and see how many they completed correctly and also log that number. And that's just some more practice. Students can go ahead and go back after those 3 minutes and after they check their work and complete the rest of the problems. Okay. Also for day 1, they are going to complete module 6 lesson 1, and this is on page 1 of their booklet in the math section. So for word problems, we use the Rdw process. So R is read, so we're going to read the word problem. D is for draw, so we're going to draw a take diagram or double take diagram and label. And W is for write, so write a number sentence and a statement that matches the story. All right, so let's go ahead with number 1. Number 1, Peter has 3 goats living on his farm. Julio has 9 goats living on his farm. How many more goats does Julio have than Peter? I like to go back and read the problem again, but this time by sentence, so I can go ahead and see what I can draw. So Peter has 3 goats living on his farm. So I can go ahead and I'm going to write the letter P for Peter, and I'm going to draw 3 for the 3 goats that he has. So 1, 2, 3. And we are using take diagrams for these problems. And so he has 3. Next sentence says Julio has 9 goats living on his farm. So I'm going to label this one J for Julio, and he has 9 goats. And because this is a comparison problem, I want to line these up as best I can. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he has 9 total. Okay. The question says, how many more goats does Julio have than Peter? So looking at my drawing, I can see that Julio has more, but I want to know how many more. So I'm going to go ahead and compare how many they have. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to stop right here, draw a line in Julio's diagram, because that is how many more he has. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 more. So now I'm going to go ahead and write my number sentence to match. So they both have 3 plus some more gave Julio 9. Okay, and we already went ahead and solved, and we saw that Julio had 6 more. So I'm going to write in my answer, and then I'm going to write a number sentence to go along with my drawing. So I'm going to say Julio has 6 more goats. Okay. Number 2, Willie picked 16 apples in the orchard. Emmy picked 10 apples in the orchard. How many more apples did Willie pick than Emmy? So I'm going to go back to my first sentence. Willie picked 16 apples in the orchard. I can draw his 16 apples. So I'm going to label this W for Willie. And this is another comparison problem, so I want to make sure my pictures line up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then draw my tape diagram. All right. Emmy picked 10 apples in the orchard. So I can draw Emmy's 10 apples. And this is another comparison problem, so I'm just going to line up as best I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And draw my tape diagram for Emmy. Okay, and the problem says, how many more apples did Willie pick than Emmy? So again, we can see that Willie has more, but we want to know how many more. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and compare again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to stop here and draw my line in my tape diagram for Willie and see how many more we have. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Willie picked 6 more. So let's go ahead and write a number sentence to match. So 10 plus some more gave Willie 16. Right, and again, we already solved and we found that Willie had 6 more. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze my number sentence here. I'm going to say Willie picked 6 more apples. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and clear this screen to move on to the next page. Okay, so still on day 1, students are going to turn to page 2 and solve 2 more problems. For these, I'm just going to read them and have the students complete on their own. So number 3 says, Lee collected 13 eggs from the hens in the barn, then collected 18 eggs from the hens in the barn. How many fewer eggs did Lee collect than then? Number 4, Shanika did 14 cartwheels during recess. Kim did 20 cartwheels. How many more cartwheels did Kim do than Shanika? So again, these are 2 more comparison problems. So I would suggest the same thing, try to line them up so you can compare. All right, moving on to day 2. Students will start off by completing the fluency activity, which is on page 2 in the fluency section of their booklet. They're going to finish as many as they can in 3 minutes. Go ahead and jot down how many problems they completed and then check their work and see how many problems they completed that were correct. And this is going to be practicing missing add-in. So they give you one add-in, you have to find the second one that gives you that total. Okay. All right, the next activity for day 2 is going to be the Module 6 Lesson 2, and that is on page 5. We're going to use the same process, the Rdw process, read, draw, write, to complete each problem. So I'm going to go ahead and read number 1. Nickel baked 5 pies for the contest. Peter baked 3 more pies than Nickel. How many pies did Peter bake for the contest? I'm going to go back to the first sentence and see what I'm able to draw. So it says Nickel baked 5 pies for the contest. So I'm going to label this N for Nickel, and he had 5 pies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go ahead and box this off for my tape diagram. Okay, and I'm going to label this 5. All right, second sentence. Peter baked 3 more pies than Nickel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just use one tape diagram for this problem. So I'm just going to add on. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and relabel so I know this is for Nickel and this is for Peter. And he baked 3 more, so I'm going to draw 3 more. 1, 2, 3. All right, now I'm going to work on my number sets to match my story. So Nickel and Peter both baked 5, but Peter baked 3 more pies than Nickel, so plus 3 more is going to give us how many Peter baked in all. So I'm going to go ahead and put 5 in my head and count on. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So Peter baked 8 pies for the contest. I'm going to circle my answer and go ahead and write a statement to match what I just did. So Peter baked 8 pies. Okay, number 2. Amy planted 12 flowers. Rose planted 3 fewer flowers than Emmy. How many flowers did Rose plant? So I'm going to reread the first sentence and see what I can draw. Emmy planted 12 flowers. So I'm going to label this E for Emmy, and she planted 12 flowers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Draw my tape diagram. All right, and I'm just going to write 12 here at the top. Okay, next sentence. Rose planted 3 fewer flowers than Emmy. Okay, again, I'm just gonna go ahead and just use the 1, but I know it tells me that Rose planted 3 fewer than Emmy. So I am going to count 1, 2, 3, draw my line. And this part is going to tell me how many Rose planted. So again, I know there's 12 in all because that's how many Emmy planted, and Rose planted 3 fewer. All right, so these are the 3 fewer that she planted. So this is going to tell me how many flowers Rose planted. So I'm going to go ahead and write my number sets to match. So we had 12 minus the 3 fewer that Rose planted equals. So now let's go ahead and count how many Rose planted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Rose planted 9 flowers. So I'm going to go ahead and write my statement to answer how many flowers did Rose plant. So Rose planted 9 flowers. All right. I'm going to go ahead and read the next one and have students complete this one on their own. So number 3 says, Ben scored 15 goals in the soccer game. Anton scored 11 goals. How many more goals did Ben score than Anton? All right, and continuing with day 2 on page 6, we have 3 more problems. I'm going to go ahead and read these as well and have students complete on their own. Number 4, Kim grew 12 roses in a garden. Fran grew 6 fewer roses than Kim. How many roses did Fran grow in the garden? Number 5, Maria has 4 more fish in her tank than Shanika. Shanika has 16 fish. How many fish does Maria have in her tank? And 6, Lee has 11 board games. Lee has 5 more board games than Darnell. How many board games does Darnell have? And just really quickly, if students are having a tough time with tape diagrams, you can have them solve in whatever way they choose. And I just say that because towards the end is when we started using tape diagrams. So it is okay if students are not too comfortable using tape diagrams at this time. All right, moving on to day 3. Students are going to complete the Fluency Practice Set C, and this is related addition and subtraction. So this is on page 3 of that fluency section in their book. 3 minutes to complete as many problems as they can. Write how many problems they finished, have them check their work, and write down how many they got correct. Again, for some extra practice, you can have students go ahead and complete the ones that they did not finish within those 3 minutes, or even come up with some of their own problems and then solve. All right, after that, you're going to turn to page 9. For this activity, we're going to write the tens and ones and complete the statement. So looking at number 1, I have a picture, a place value chart, and then a statement that we have to complete. So first, let's go ahead and see how many tens we have. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10. So I'm going to write in 4 tens, and then I need to go back and see how many ones I have. 1, 2, 3. I have 3 ones. Okay, so now to complete the statement, 43 equals 4 tens and 3 ones. Okay, I can go back and count 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. Okay, I'm going to skip number 2 because it's similar to number 1, and I'm going to jump down to number 3. So again, we're still doing the same thing, counting how many tens and ones we have, and then completing the statement. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 tens. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ones. Okay, so I can look at my place value chart to give me the number, or I can go back and count. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. There are blank cues. There are 78 cues. All right, and you will continue on doing the same thing for the rest of these problems. Okay. Your next activity for day 3 is on page 12. And here we're going to write the numbers as tens and ones in the place value chart, or use the place value chart to write the number. So for example, A gives us the number, so we need to write this number into our place value chart. Okay, so breaking this number up, I have 70. Okay, I have my tens and my ones. So looking at 70, I do not have any ones, but we still need to put that in. So 0, 1, and I have 7 tens. Or you'll have like example C, where it gives you the number in the place value chart and you just have to write the number in. So I have 4 tens and 9 ones. All right, and if students want to draw it out, they can. So 4 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. 4 tens and 9 ones is the same as 49. All right, and then you continue on for the remainder of these. So B is giving you 76. You're going to have to plug it in. How many tens, how many ones? D gives you 9 tens and 4 ones. So what's the number? E gives you 65. So identify the tens and the ones. F is 60. G, 90. H gives you how many tens and how many ones. So here you have 10 tens and 0 ones. And so forth. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and clear this. All right. Okay. Also on day 3, it has a series of questions, and this could just serve as some extra practice for students. But it asks you to discuss the value of the digits in 47. So I'm going to go ahead and write that number on the side. So when we decompose the number, it is 40 plus 7. So you would ask your child, why don't we see 40, but just the digit 4? Okay, and then you're going to show 47 using a quick 10 drawing of a stick of 10 cubes and single ones. So kind of like I did on the previous page, quick 10s are lines. So 10, 20, 30, 40, and single cubes. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Okay, and then ask how many 10s did you draw, how many 1s did you draw, and then write the number in the place value chart, okay, which they had practiced on the previous page as well. Okay, they can just write T for 10s and O for 1s, and then write that number in the place value chart. I can see I have 4 10s and 7 1s. Okay, and you will repeat with the following numbers. So same thing, ask those questions, do the drawings out for 74, 93, and 56. All right. Day 4, you're going to complete the Fluency Practice Set D, and this is practicing subtraction. This Fluency page is on page 4 in the Fluency section. 3 minutes to complete, as many problems as you can. Write how many problems you were able to finish, and then how many you were able to solve correctly. All right, the second activity for day 4 is for the Module 6 Lesson 4 on page 14. We're going to count the objects and fill in the number bond. or some of them are, all of them, you're going to complete the sentences to add the tens and ones as well. All right, number 1. I'm going to go ahead and just count how many I have it all first, and then break it up into my tens and my ones. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43. So I have 43 total. Okay, now I'm going to see how many I have in tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. I have 40 in tens. And then 1, 2, 3 in ones. Okay, and just remind students that we want the amount, the total, not how many tens we have. Because we have 4 tens, but 4 plus 3 does not make 43, right? So make sure they're counting by 10 so they can write the actual value of those tens in their notebook. So 40 and 3 make, and we've already counted, 43. So that means that 40 plus 3 is 43. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and skip number 2 because that is similar to number 1. And I'm going to jump down to number 3. All right, so again, I like to go ahead and just count all, but you can do it by parts as well. So let's do this one by parts. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We have 50 in tens. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in ones. In all, and I don't have to go back and count. I could just put 50 in my head and count on. So 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57. Right, so here we start with our total first. So 57 equals 50. This is one of our parts. Plus 7. So 7 more than 50 is, so 7 more than 50 is 57. That's just another way we can say it. All right, and it gets more challenging as you go along. This time it gives you none of it, and you have to go ahead and write it in. So let's just do one more. Let's do number 5. Okay, so I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. In ones, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know 60 and 8 makes 68. All right, and now I just need to go and write my number sentence. So I have my 2 parts, which are 60 plus 8, which gives me 68. All right. So you will do the same thing for here. 40 and 6 make blank. And then 40 plus 6 equals, and make sure to go ahead and fill out your number bond. And same thing for 4 and 6. All right. Continuing on with day 4, you're going to turn to page 15. Here we're going to count the objects and fill in the place value chart. Complete the sentences to add the tens and ones. Okay, this is similar to what we were doing in the front of the page, but I'll do one just to kind of show you. All right, so here we're going back to the place value chart. So here it's asking us how many tens. Not how much they're worth, just how many of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 tens. Okay, now how many ones do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. Okay, and now let's go ahead and complete our sentences here at the bottom. Okay, so 7 tens is the same thing. I can't write the number 7 because that's not how much 7 10 is worth. So let me go back and count how much that is. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Plus 4 equals 70. Now here it's asking me how many tens and how many ones. So here I can say 7 tens plus 4 ones is 74. Okay. So go ahead and do that for 8, 9, and 10. For number 11, it says to complete the sentences to add the tens and ones. Okay, so letter A says 50 plus 6. And you can draw these out if you like. So 50, I know 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. 50 plus 6 is 56. Okay, B has blank plus 9 equals 89. So I want to look at 89. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and draw a place value chart over it. Okay, so here, they've already given us how many ones we have. We have 9 ones. They did not give us how many tens we have. So I see in my tens place, I have 8. And I know that's 8 tens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Complete my number sentence, I'm going to write in 80. 80 plus 9 equals 89. Okay. Here you're going to do kind of similar to what these statements were up top. 5 tens plus blank ones equals 56. And D, 9 ones plus 8 tens equals blank. And now pay close attention that here they just flip-flop. They started with the ones first and then the tens. Okay. So students will go ahead and solve the rest of them. Okay. And day 4, similar to day 3, has a few discussion questions and just an extra activity that you can do with your child. So here it's going to ask you to discuss the value of the digits in 78. So let me go ahead and write that. So asking students what each digit stands for. All right, and you can show them when decomposing or breaking apart this number into tens and ones, you have 70 plus 8. So again, you will show 78 with quick 10 drawing, say the number as tens and ones, write a number bond that shows the tens and the ones. So I've already gone ahead and did that when I broke it up. Write the number in a place value chart. Ask students what do you notice about the add-ins in all these number sentences, and then you'll make some more than statements to go along with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and do this last one since we've already done some of these top ones. So making more than statements just means I can write 8. And actually, let me go ahead and just do the text form of that so it's easier. So students can say 8 more than 70 is 78, or 70 more than 8 is 78. And you will do the same thing for 54, 62, and 83, where you do the quick 10 drawings, say the numbers as tens and ones, and so forth. Okay. All right, and last, day 5. All right, so the fluency practice set E is for day 5, and this is some mixed practice, what they've been working on all week. This fluency practice is going to be on page 5 in the fluency section. Time students 3 minutes. Write how many they've completed and how many they got correct. All right, continuing on with day 5. Students are going to complete module 6, lesson 5, and this is on page 18. Students are going to identify 10 more, 10 less, 1 more, and 1 less than a 2-digit number. All right, so let's go and see what we have to do. So number 1, here it says solve. You may draw or cross off X to show your work. So let's go ahead and see what they want us to do. It says 1 more than 68 is blank. So I need to draw 1 more. I'm just going to include it right here. Okay. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. 1 more than 68 is 69. I'm going to jump down to C. Here it says 10 less than 71 is. So I don't need to draw anything because I'm not adding more. I'm actually going to take away 10. I'm just going to cross the stick of 10. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 61. So 10 less than 71 is 61. At B is going to have you do 10 more than 68, and D is going to have you do 1 less than 70. At number 2, find the mystery numbers. Use the arrow way to explain how you know. So A says 10 more than 59 is. Okay, so you have your 2 place value charts. The arrow is where we write what we're doing. So here it says plus 110. So I know my ones place is not going to change because we're just working with tens. So 110. So 5 plus 1 more 10 is going to give you 610. So let's go ahead and complete the statement. 10 more than 59 is 69. All right, let's do 1 more. Let's do B. 1 less than 59 is. So I'm going to go ahead, before doing anything, go ahead and draw my arrow. And I'm going to do minus 1. And I'll go ahead and put the word 1. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and write my number, 59. So 5 tens and 9 ones. And this time we're doing 1 less. So I'm going to go ahead and write my 10 because I know my 10 is not going to change in this case. And 1 less than 9 is going to be 8. So I'm just counting back 5. So 1 less than 59 is 58. Okay, so C, 1 more than 59 is blank. Go ahead and use the arrow way to solve. And D, 10 less than 59 is blank. Okay, and just really quickly for C, 1 more than 59, okay, if you notice, you're already super, super close to another 10. So go ahead, actually, let's do that together. So 1 more than 59. I'm gonna draw my arrow. Plus, look more like a plus, plus 1, and I'm gonna put 1. Okay, so I'm gonna start with my 59, so 5 10s and 9 1s. Okay, so I'm gonna add 1 more. So 1 more than 9 is 10. But we are not allowed to put 2 numbers in the ones place. We can only have 1 digit. Okay, so here I'm gonna have to add this 10 to my tens place. So 5 6. Okay, and that leaves me with 0 ones. So 1 more than 59 is 60. Okay. All right, moving on, turn to page 19. We're still going to be writing the number that is 1 more, 1 less, 10 more, and 10 less than a two-digit number, and then fill in the missing number in each sequence. So number 3, write the number that is 1 more than each of those numbers. So 10, 11, so 1 more, 70 plus 1 more, so 70, 71. All right, you're going to do the same thing for 76, 79, and 99. Here you're going to write 10 more. So 10 and 10 more, so 10, I can count by 10, so 10, 20, add 10 more. Start at 60, 70, 61, 10 more, I'm just changing the tens place. So 6 plus 1 more 10 is 7. The ones place did not change, so 71. Do the same thing for 78 and 90. All right, for 5, you're going to write the number that is 1 less than 12, 52, 51, 80, and 100. Write the number that is 10 less than 20, 60, 74, 81, and 100. Okay, and then number 7, fill in the missing numbers in each sequence. So A, 40, 40, 41, 42, 43. Okay, B, 89, 88, 87. So I see we're counting back by 1. So 87, 86. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for the remainder. Notice what pattern they're using and then write in that missing number. All right, and your last activity for day 5, you are going to be discussing some more numbers. So it asks us to discuss the value of 62. So you're going to discuss each digit. You're going to draw 62 using a quick 10 drawing that represents a 10 stick of cubes. Then according to your picture, how many 10s and 1s are in 62? What is 1 more than 62? What changed and what did not change? So which value, the 10s place or the 1s changed? Ones place changed. Show 62 with a quick 10 drawing again. How can you show 10 more than 62? What changed and what did not change? So again, when it talks about what changed, did not change, we're talking about the place value, so either the tens place or the ones place. And then you're going to repeat the sequence with the following numbers: 1 less, 10 less than 77, 1 more, 1 less than 90. All right. So again, I hope you find this video helpful as you are going through week 1 of phase 3 take-home packet.